Boom! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live right here for free on this YouTube channel. But myself, other THD Pro Trader moderators, and special guests drop some golden nuggets and free lessons and education that will help you become better traders and investors immediately. If you're ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you guys have come to the place. Take a moment, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this stream on your own social media. Let's reach out and empower and educate as many retail traders as we possibly can. But why should you listen to anything we cover on these live streams? Folks, I started my career working for a hedge fund in New York City, my very first job out of college. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. But before they let me touch $1 of their money, I first had to go through an intensive training program. I had access to some of the top trading tools, and I was part of a community of like-minded traders that helped ensure my success as a trader. And that is exactly what the THD platform is based on here today. Folks, tonight's live stream is going down as follows. First up, 15 to 20 minute Q&A session. We're going to give a chance for some people to log on. I'm going to be bringing on my boy, Mr. Matt Kohrs, as well. Then we're going to dive into some important lessons and topics that can help you become better traders and more profitable traders as early as tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on over the weekend. We've got a big week coming up. Fed meeting, rate hikes this Wednesday. A lot to go over, a lot to talk about. What does all this mean for the markets? What does all this mean? Are markets going up? Are they going down? Is the crash continuing? Is this the bottom buying opportunity? What is it? We're going to talk all about it here tonight on this live stream, folks. When we are done with that Q&A, I will show you guys later on in the live stream how you guys can become part of the THD family. I'll show you and walk you through and show you the platform, the tools, the resources, everything that is included on that THD platform. We're going to break it all down for you guys here on this live stream. But first, I need you all to listen up and listen good. We're about to start that Q&A. Do not be shy. You got a trader here, myself, sitting here, about 17 years of experience. I'm going to bring on my boy, Mr. Matt Kohrs, in just a moment. You guys can ask us anything that's on your mind about individual stocks, trading, the markets, whatever. We're here to help. Fire away. Start typing your questions in chat right now. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Asking questions is how you learn. So go ahead, folks, right now. Let's start and begin that Q&A. Begin typing your questions in chat right now.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Mr. Matt? How was your weekend, brother?
Good. I was just enjoying those hefty profits that TTG fan made through the SPY puts throughout the week. So
Yes,
it was a good
sir.
weekend.
Yes.
I went indoor skydiving just to understand what a market free fall or push would look like. So just being physically ready.
Awesome. That's something I actually went skydiving. That's something I definitely want to do again.
It was so I actually went skydiving before I went indoor skydiving, and it's actually odd how the only big, I guess, like sensation difference is when you're skydiving, you feel that fall like almost in your gut, while really in indoor, you're like it's just that wind that's like in your nose and mouth, and you feel silly at first, but it was cool, fun, something to do.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we got a wild and crazy week ahead of us. We got Fed meeting. Let's go, folks. Fire away. Ask us questions. We got the first one up on the screen. Let's see. Was there any headlines this weekend that you both think can affect the market tomorrow and this week? Yes. Okay. Yes. A lot actually happened this weekend. And I'll go over with you guys. I'm actually a little surprised to see futures green currently. Futures market is currently green as we sit here. And I'm a little surprised to see futures open up. A lot happened. You had another attack, another Russia attack, this time on a military base that was only 12 miles off the border of Poland. And don't forget, Poland is NATO territory. There are also U.S. troops stationed in Poland on the border. So if there's anything that happens over the border, then NATO would therefore have to respond. So that was a little uneasy. You also had your first American that was actually killed over the weekend, a journalist, a reporter that was kind of boots on the ground reporting about what was happening in Ukraine, and unfortunately was killed over the weekend. And then you also had a missile attack on a U.S. consulate in Iraq that Iran claiming responsibility for. So there's all of these things happened over the weekend that I thought were sure going to cause markets to gap down once futures open, because don't forget, folks, a lot of people are expecting an Iran nuclear deal to help bring 1.3 million barrels a day of oil online to help out with the oil supply. So that situation that happened over the weekend with Iran was even more of a bigger deal in my eyes, when I was, okay, that's going to cause oil to spike. That's going to cause the markets to drop. But then something else happened over the weekend that the markets, I think, are celebrating right now. And you actually had representatives from Ukraine and also representatives from the U.S. State Department say that this was the most progress that they have made with talks. And there were comments made that a real meaningful progression in ceasefire or peace talks could come within the next few days. And that's the first time that we've really kind of heard that from the U.S. and also from Ukraine. And the markets are liking that. So kind of the violence and the chaos that's happened over the weekend is kind of being muted a little bit by that statement. It's a kind of a joint statement from Ukraine, but also from the U.S. State Department. And that, I think, is what's causing the futures market to gap up because of hopes of some meaningful progress over the next couple of days.
I'll add on to that one just a little bit. In my personal opinion, I'd love to hear yours, Mike. I actually don't think this gap up's going to hold, just because this is things that have like quantifiably happened thus far are negative, and it's a little bit more optimism looking forward. So I don't know if the Asian market's really going to hold it, just because last week we saw similar things. And granted, this is a little bit more real because like it wasn't just Russian media saying it. So like I'm not saying it's like completely just like whatever, don't believe it. I'm not feeling the most optimistic of it actually holding overnight, but who knows? Let's see how it goes. And I want to remind everyone, yes, massive geopolitical developments over the weekend, as it has been for the past 30 weeks. But do not forget, it's also a Fed week. Between Tuesday and Wednesday, we have the FOMC meeting, and we're going to be getting the first Fed rate hike ever since December of 2018. So that's just going to be another thing that adds into the potential equation that's increasing volatility. I really don't think there's going to be any surprises. Like, if anything, I think if there is a surprise, I would bet it's going to be on the more dovish side. If politicians are putting pressure on the Fed to calm down with the whole Ukraine situation, but I don't think there's going to be anything. And also the futures market for interest rate hikes, everyone's pretty confident of a 25 bips rate hike. Like, that's what the world's at right now. So not many surprises. And I actually think I just want to lobby this opinion out, Mike, and tell me if you think it's right or not. If we get a 25 bips rate hike, and let's say nothing in this vacuum of a scenario is currently happening in Ukraine, like if it were just to be that, I think the market actually goes green, just because it's simply taking an uncertainty out of the market of, we didn't know if there was going to be a surprise. And if it's in alignment with what everyone's predicting, I bet we go green, at least on a little short term, like little pop there.
Yeah, I think, I'll touch on a couple different things that you said. I'll kind of hit them in order. I also don't believe that this gap up in futures holds all the way through until we open up in, let's see, I don't know, 15 hours from now, whatever it is. So I also don't believe that the gap up in the futures holds. I'm also still sitting in a small piece of my put options. Let's not forget that, folks. I got into put options on Friday. Banked some big time profit with put options on Friday. The TG fam, a lot of members nailed that trade with me on Friday. And I am still holding a small piece of that position to see if we got some more downside. So I still am in a piece of those puts. If you guys caught the live stream on Friday, I broke down that entire trade for you. I won't go into it too much now, but you guys can go back and rewatch the live stream from Friday when I talked about the SPY put trade. So we have that. Now, I will also say that, guys, it really doesn't matter to us in True Trading Group, like whether this gap up in the futures holds and we continue higher, or if we sell it off and we gap down and we go red. Either way, the volatility that Matt's referring to, the volatility that you're seeing in the market, provides us with tremendous opportunities in the market. You got to take a look at, you're talking about 10-point moves in the SPY on a daily basis. You're talking about 2% moves in the S&P on a daily basis. Moves of that size provide traders like us, whether you're day trading or swing trading, provides us with tremendous opportunities. So right now, we're just trying to, make a point right now of, okay, if this happens, then this could be bullish for markets, and then this is how we position ourselves to make money. If that happens, that's bearish for markets. This is then how we position ourselves to make money in the market. That's the biggest thing That's the biggest difference between educated traders and uneducated traders. Uneducated do not necessarily realize that they can actually make money when markets go down. So for us, we don't care if markets are up, down, left, right, sideways. There are ways to profit in the volatile market that we are currently in. It's an absolute thing of beauty right now, the opportunity that the markets are presenting to us. So that's first and foremost. Second, with regards to the Fed, we're going to get a 25 basis point hike on Wednesday. I would be absolutely astonished if we did not get a rate hike on Wednesday. And I think it would be a massive mistake by the Fed to get a rate hike. What I'm looking for on Wednesday, and this is going to be something that I'm going to be talking to our members live when this whole thing unfolds on Wednesday at 2:00. I'm going to be live on the microphone in chat with all of our members, because in my opinion, it's not the 25 basis point hike that's going to be what the market's going to care about, because that is widely expected. It's going to be the rest of the statement. People are going to want to know that the Fed is not on autopilot. They're going to want to know that the Fed is not just going to say, okay, we're coming out with 25 basis points every single meeting this year. The markets are not going to want to hear that, because there are a lot of market participants that don't think the markets can handle 6 or 7 rate hikes this year. I, for one, believe we're probably going to get around 4-ish, maybe 5 rate hikes this year. But the markets are going to want to know that the Fed's going to raise rates, see what it does to inflation. Raise rates, see what it does to inflation. Because the markets want to know that the Fed is not just going to overshoot into what is starting to be a slowing economy. So if our economy was still growing very rapidly, then the Fed could just be on autopilot, and there'd be no concern of a growth slowdown. But since growth is beginning to slow, the Fed has to be careful to not raise rates too far. And that's why the market's going to want to hear, okay, we know you have to raise rates. We've got to get inflation under control. It's out of control. We've got to get back under control inflation. So you have to raise rates, but raise rates responsibly, not on autopilot. And that is what we really need to pay attention to. And it's going to be Jerome Powell, as always, over these last several months, has his work cut out for him when it comes time for the press conference at 2:30. I believe that you're going to get a minimal response in the market from 2 to 2:30, because everyone's going to expect the 25 basis points. But then Jerome Powell speaks at 2:30. And the whole market's going to want to try to hear, are they on autopilot? Are they going to just raise? Or are they going to raise, see what happens? Raise, see what happens. That's what we have to be paying attention to. And I'll walk my entire TT fam through that in chat on like what kind of, is this dovish or is this hawkish out of Jerome Powell? The thing that we've got, I think the markets would like, Matt, is if Jerome Powell doesn't even discuss tightening, which would be what quantitative tightening mean, like reducing the balance sheet. I don't think that they even want to hear about reducing the balance sheet, because I don't think they think the market can handle it. So if we just go, hey, 25 basis points, let's not even talk about balance sheet reduction. Let's just, hey, we're going to focus on inflation, forget the balance sheet. We'll carry the $9 trillion for as long as we have to. We're just worried about inflation right now first. And we're going to use rate hikes to bring inflation down. We're not going to use balance sheet runoff. That's what I'm going to be listening for when Jerome Powell speaks. And I'll be live on the mic walking our entire TT fam through that when the time comes. So you guys want to make sure you get your butts in chat this week. All right. Sorry, no such thing as a stupid question. We have someone on side that says, sorry for the stupid question. No such thing. But can you explain rate hikes and how that affects a retail trader like me? Okay. I'll just quickly answer this, Matt. If there's anything that you want to add on top of it, brother, go right ahead. Rate hikes will not affect you as a retail trader at all in any way, means whatsoever. Okay. Rate hikes, the Fed increasing the federal funds rate, it just increases the cost to borrow money. So, when other financial institutions will go to the Fed, they'll borrow money. Now you have a different interest rate that now people have to pay to borrow money. And then that increase in interest rate gets filtered through the financial system, eventually going down to like anybody, a small business or an individual that's going to borrow money from a financial institution. So the interest rates will start to go up. Now, how does that affect you as a retail trader? It doesn't. It just gives you volatility in the marketplace that gives you opportunity. It's not something that's bad for a retail trader. It doesn't affect your ability to make money in the markets by any means. And a matter of fact, I think it actually does the opposite. It gives you more opportunity to make money because it provides volatility, which therefore creates larger moves in the market and that's good for active retail traders.
Yeah. I think with it, whether going up or down, it produces volatility, definitely, if there's surprises. And to maybe hit this home a little bit more for everyone listening, just to not give you flashbacks to your Econ 101, but what Mike was referring to with interest rates going up and like really let's say a decline in GDP, economic growth, that word that everyone's going to be saying is stagflation. Just to give you guys a little bit, like, that's when interest rates are sky high but your economy is going down. And Mike, neither you nor I were trading, but I was almost wondering, I was trying to study because like everyone's been preaching this of like we're at a 4-decade high level of inflation, and so I try to go back into there of like the Greenspan, and I believe before him it was a guy named like Volcker. Right now, just so everyone knows, our Fed rate, basically big banks loaning to big banks and Feds and that stuff, it's 0, and we're talking about bringing it off of 0. So back then, when inflation was sky high, they at one point had it jacked up to 20%. Which is crazy. And folks, just so you know, we're talking about 0.25% right now. And in the, I think 80 and 82, maybe 81 and 82, they actually put it up so high. This is also when we're using the terminology hawkish. You fight inflation, but it's less accommodative to unemployment, which has the side effect of bringing stocks down. This actually prompted, like, basically it's like a Volcker recession. We had 2 recessions by how aggressively they fought inflation, which I don't know if it's going to play out this way, but I just thought it was a good little piece of history to see if like we had connections or not for what's going on right now. Because beyond that, like, folks, if you're new to the market, which I know a lot of us are, just because of volatility, looking for extra ways to make money, this is not a normal thing. Like, this isn't something you see every year or every other year. We're talking about something the last time it really happened was 4 decades ago. And it's not that many data points, but I was just trying to find some similarities there that might be applied to what the hell is going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the double dip recession was what that was there in the 80s. And this is really, folks, the main difference here that we also have right now is that we have unemployment at 3.8%. Now, it's very difficult to actually go into a recession when you have unemployment at 3.8% and everybody is working. So you do have distinct differences between, this current environment and what happened there in the 80s when you had that double dip recession and the Paul Volcker, forcing the economy into a recession basically purposely. Now, I don't think that you're going to get that from the Fed, where the Fed is going to purposely just run us right, face first into a recession. If it does happen, it would be unintentional from the Fed. Is kind of what I think. I don't think Jerome Powell is prepared to just forcefully just push things into recession. I think that, at heart, the guy's a dove, but we have to wait and see. This is why, like, with all of these headline risks that are happening right now, because while the markets are trying to digest everything happening between Russia and Ukraine, now you have to see, okay, now all of a sudden you throw Iran into the wrinkle of the mix of everything. And now you've got the Fed that's going to be raising rates. This is why, more so than ever, folks, it's important for you to be educated in the markets and not just rely on something that you're going to read on Twitter, but actually get a real understanding of macroeconomics and how it affects the overall market and what that means for opportunities for you. Because no matter what happens, there's always, as long as the stock market is open, there will always be opportunities for you to make money in the market. You just have to be educated enough to understand where to look. And so far, the markets have done nothing but go straight down in 2022. But yet it's been, so far to start, one of the most profitable years that we've had in True Trading Group in this type of environment. And it's because of the education that we have, being able to take advantage of these opportunities. That's why, more so now than ever, don't try to go about this stuff on your own.
I mean, I would almost put it this way, in just like a business sense. I personally think the membership is well worth it. And I'm basing my, I guess, opinion on the fact so many members are like, I made my money back. But I get it. If you're watching it, especially if this is your first time learning about TTG at all, there's an option for a 1-week trial that's just $3. The insanity of what's going to be happening, particularly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you could view it as just listening to Mike and other pro traders for $1 a day, even if you only listen for 3 days, to get some actual professional opinions on it. And from there, you make a decision if it's for you or not. But to me, just like the risk of not knowing what's going on is like way, way greater than literally 300 cents.
Yeah, literally, especially in this environment. There's just so many different things that are moving the markets up and down in a given day. Next question. Oh, guys, that URL, by the way, for the trial that Matt's talking about, if you're interested, ttgthree.com. No
There's
automatic
also
upgrade. Yeah, no automatic upgrade, no reoccurring payment, none of that, guys. Just one-time payment of $3. We charge $3 just to make sure you're a real person, so we can maintain, integrity inside of our chat room. We don't want a bunch of people just, signing up and just spamming our chat for free. So that's why we charge the $3. Make sure you're a real person. That's all.
I think it will be a good long-term investment, regardless of peace talks. Buffett thinks so. That to me gets into the realm of what do you think long-term is? Do I want to hold energy, core energy, for the remainder of my life? No, because I think politically and culturally we're going in the way of clean energy. And right now, oil damn near hit an all-time high. It didn't officially, but it was super, super close. Yes, oil is a finite, I guess, like commodity, and we're using it up. But I guess maybe I'm a little bit optimistic on our technological developments getting off of these classic energies. So it's really definition of long term. Am I bullish on oil for the energy sector for this year, next year? Yes. So I just want to get the semantics out of the way of how are you defining long term? More than a couple of years or multiple decades? No, not that bullish on it.
I agree. And something I want to be very specific with here to answer JC Stewart's question. There's a difference between, and we have to clarify, because you're saying, what do you think oil would be a good long-term investment, as if we're talking about the commodity of oil itself. You see, the thing about the commodity of oil itself is I don't think that oil as a commodity is going to be a good long-term investment. Okay. Oil is trading at, I think it was I don't know where it is, where the futures were now, but on Friday it was like 106, something like that. We got as high last week and into like the 130s. I don't believe that you're going to see oil, go to $300 a barrel, where it makes sense as a commodity for you to buy it, like something like gold, where I think the price of gold is actually something I do believe has a lot more room to the upside. I think we can easily get to $2,500 an ounce, but you don't need gold to continue going higher for the oil stocks and the oil companies to do well. You have to realize that the oil companies, Chevron, Exxon, Devon, ConocoPhillips, Pioneer, Occidental, these companies are going to be generating, and currently are generating, such a ridiculous, absurd amount of cash flow in this higher oil environment that they don't even know what to do with the amount of money that they're making. So what are they doing with it? They're doing share buyback programs. You have dividend hikes that you're going to be seeing. And I believe that this phase that you're going to go through right now, because I expect oil to remain elevated for the rest of this year and then into next year as well. I don't think this is going to be something where oil is going to go back down to $50 a barrel. I think oil, even once the dust settles, I still think oil is like $80 or $90 a barrel for an extended period of time. And oil at that level still allows these oil companies to generate insane profit off of that. And I think what you're going to see over the next couple of years is that cash is going to be hoarded by those oil companies, because they're also not foolish. They understand that 10 years, 20 years from now, the play is not keep drilling more and more and more and more and more oil, but they're going to have to they already are investing in green energy solutions. And I think that these oil companies over the next 1 to 2 years are going to take the hordes of cash that they're generating right now. And you are going to see, in my opinion, I think in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see a lot of green energy acquisitions where these oil companies are so cashed up where they're going to start buying and acquiring smaller green energy companies so they can swallow up their tech. And it's going to be the oil titans of today are going to still be the companies that will then generate and provide the green energy solution while maintaining a hybrid energy solution, because oil's not going away in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Oil's not going away. That transition from oil into green energy is going to take a long time. And I think you're going to see those oil companies are going to then become the energy hybrid. And I actually think that the energy companies could be better long-term investments. They also provide fantastic dividends. And I think that there's a much better play there in the oil stocks than oil itself.
This might be a little tinfoil hatty. I agree with you. I think all of a sudden they are energy companies. I think the smart ones that will survive are going to pivot into the new popularity of energy. So I'm with you on that. I'm curious, do you think they're going to start to get a little bit orange pilled? I've been reading more and more about how these like gas runoffs, when you're like actually drilling for it, people in Texas have actually been using that to power these mining rigs for Bitcoin. And I'm almost curious if they're going to get more into that game of actually mining, because like you're seeing it in the oil fields right now in Texas, and then all of a sudden you're also seeing the success of the likes of like MicroStrategy actively carrying it on their balance sheet when we're in a like higher inflationary environment. I don't know, maybe a little bit tinfoil, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these bigger players, especially just because other big companies have been doing it, like Apple and Tesla and yada yada yada, start to carry some Bitcoin, particularly on their balance sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting angle. That's not even an angle that I was even thinking about, but yeah, really good point. Next question, folks. Okay, I heard you say perfect for active investors. I work 50 hours a week. Is this not for me? Oh my goodness, no, Jeremy. This is exactly for you, brother. This is exactly for you, Jeremy. So, and I assume you're talking about I assume you're talking about True Trading Group, specifically True Trading Group for you. The overwhelming majority of members in TTG do have full-time jobs. Okay, the overwhelming majority of them do. And they're still being able to make money on a regular basis because of there's a lot of different, when I say the word active, I'm not talking about you're sitting in front of your computer screen, you're buying and selling stocks all day long. That's not what I'm referring to when I say active. There's a lot of different trading styles and strategies. Okay, you could be a traditional day trader, you can be a swing trader, and use our mobile app. The mobile app that we have available to you as a member lets you actually still be connected to chat, even if you are not in front of your computer. So you can still see the screen share during the day. You can listen to the audio analysis. You get the real-time push notifications through the app whenever a moderator enters or exits a trade. And that's how you're able to benefit and follow along, even if you're not in front of your computer. And I'll actually just prove it to you. I'll ask members themselves if they want to comment right now. Guys, if I'm talking directly to members from True Trading Group right now, if you work a full-time job and are making money with True Trading Group, do me a favor, type the number 1 and tell me what you do for a living. So Jeremy, my advice, just read some of the comments that are coming through. I'll read a couple of them to you as well. But these are going to be members of True Trading Group that have a full-time job and they're still making money in this environment. Here we go. Soccer mom's a nurse practitioner. Okay. We've got, what else? General contractor, computer geek, sales, IT, school janitor, utilities. I work in an oil refinery, construction, film business, home improvement, a caregiver, bakery owner, ESL teacher, insurance adjuster, carpenter, accountant, construction project manager, lawyer, mechanic. It works for Amazon, a firefighter, oil field equipment operator, physical therapist. All right, you guys can see electrician, heavy equipment operator. You guys can real estate broker, truck driver. You guys can see all the comments that are coming through chats. I don't need to keep reading them all, but you get the point. So Jeremy, yes, brother, absolutely. If you work a full-time job, you can still make money in this environment. It's the ideal environment for you.
How cool is that, though? So many people from so many different backgrounds, whether they have a college education or they chose to forego that, or like race, religion, creed. Like, to me, that's like the coolest thing about the market is everyone can find something. And I like recently a little new feather in my cap of like why I like it more is I feel like it's actually making me like more of an informed person on a global scale. Like, and I feel like it's important to stay informed. So now just because of its connection to the market, but to me, that's like just so cool. So many different people finding and I guess it's more of like what an innate human desire to get to that next level of financial freedom. I mean, there's so many of us that would love to be, say, doing our jobs but not having the financial pressure to do it, and it's not going to happen overnight. If you think signing up for this group all of a sudden on Tuesday you're now the best trader and you're quick, that's not how it is. It's no different than any other skill set. You put in your quote unquote 10,000 hours, you grind out the skill set, and then you have something from there that a couple of years down the road could literally change your life for like such the dramatic shift. I don't know. So impressive to me to see all those different jobs. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, it really is. It's something that I'm really, we built True Trading specifically for the average retail trader, which the average retail trader does have a full-time job. So, everything that you need to be successful, folks, we have it. All right. So Matt, Adam told me that if we don't let you go, that Miss Kohrs was going to come on the stream and murder you. So
here, I could stay around for another question or two. I think I'm gonna let's do it 10 more minutes. How about that, folks? Rapid fire your questions. We'll give them a little extra on this Sunday just because I think it's going to be a wild week. Mrs. Kohrs, also referred to as my completely real girlfriend. Super real.
Super real. She exists.
Bring on totally real girlfriend. She's not here right now. I don't know if she would do it if she were here, if I'm being honest. You guys have to understand, Mike and I put a lot of time into our makeup. This is about 2 hours of prep work before we're camera ready.
It's all in my eyebrows.
Ames, all right. TTG has allowed me to become a full-time trader and work from home. That's awesome, Joey.
Hell yeah. Way to go, Joey.
Joey, could you comment real quick and like see if we could grab your name of how long you've been a member of TTG? I'm just curious of like what your turnaround time was there. Let's see if we could grab his comment. I know there's a slight awkward delay.
Yeah, so many. Oh, Eric Harper too. Eric Harper goes, Joey McNeil, I'm right behind you. Eric Harper also became a full-time trader. Way to go. November. So Joey McNeil says since November. So since November. That's 5 months.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. Way to go, Joey. Congratulations. Joey's also an STR member of the TTG fam.
Shout out, Joey. November. I don't know. I guess he must have a bigger brain than I do. It took me a bit longer than that.
Well, he might have been trading maybe for longer, but he's been with True Trading Group.
Gotcha.
So we don't know when he started his trading journey, but there you go, Matt.
Thoughts on AMC? Well, I'll give mine, Mike. I'm curious to hear yours. Could you bring it up?
Got it up.
So right now in the short term, it depends on how you want to look at it. If I didn't know of AMC, if you just showed me this chart, it's like the overall market. It's tough to argue that the short term is not looking bearish. Are we at support? Could buyers be found there? 100%. But my thoughts haven't really changed. Like, I guess I get this a lot because now, especially in this day and age, we're talking about like the SPY and the Qs and the Russell and that type of thing. I truly think of AMC and GME as just something different. A lot of my time is still spent looking into market manipulation and what's going on there. Both AMC and GME have a short interest over 20%. To me, that argument of what's going on, of this cultural wildfire, like kind of fighting against hedge funds, is still there. So for me, and this is not appropriate for everyone, but I am willing to risk every single cent I put into AMC and GME. Like, I'm willing to ride it to zero to be a martyr for what's going on. That's not appropriate for everyone. I bet the money I'm willing to risk. And I think of them so wildly different. And I know, obviously, Mike and Adam here, they're fully supportive of retail traders, hence why they've made a platform for retail traders. But also, they have, I guess, the duty, and that's why I'm like kind of this awkward in between, where wherever they see opportunity, even if it's necessarily potentially against like a cultural like movement, they have to do that because that's like the essence of their platform. So for me, I'm happy to be an ape and continue to fight against it. And speaking of which, we just found out on Wednesday, they're actually having a hearing for political insider trading. Like, Congress will, I guess, be talking to themselves if they want to allow themselves to do that thing that they shouldn't be doing. But another exciting thing happening on Wednesday.
Yeah, that should be interesting because Wednesday you've got the Fed meeting, and then you also have them kind of lumping together at the same time this congressional hearing of allowing congressional members to be able to trade individual stocks. So it should be interesting.
It's kind of funny. Other people I see are asking about INDO and IMPP, and like, yes, AMC and GME, particularly starting with GME, took this mantle of market manipulation. I was looking into INDO, IMPP, and those ones, which are small oil, petroleum, like pipeline type plays, like low floats coming out of nowhere with the spike in oil. These ones have short interest over 100% again. And then I'm just thinking about what happened with nickel and some of these big players.
They're over 100% right now?
Yeah, both INDO and IMPP has almost 200% short interest.
What?
Yeah. And like, you're just like, how is this shit legal? And for these guys, they're playing with a match because if crude oil goes up, all of a sudden, maybe Iran decides, hang on, we're not going to release our like 1.6 million a day or whatever that metric was that you cited. if it just naturally starts to get bought, like it's a low float, high short interest play. So it's a powder keg. And do not take this as saying it has to squeeze. It does not have to do anything. I'm just saying if oil goes up, I'm going to put it on my watch list for sure.
Yeah, I'll just give you guys two key levels that I have eyeballs on. INDO is 25. Okay, INDO above 25 and IMPP above 350. So those are the key support levels that I have my eyes on from a charting, from a technical standpoint. I actually didn't know that the short position on those was over 100%, which is just bonkers that you have another situation of stocks over 100%. It doesn't make any sense. It should not be allowed, but it still happens. It's like, have we learned nothing from GameStop? But IMPP 350 and then INBO, again, just from a charting perspective, 25. So those are going to be your key support levels that if we can stay above those stocks are still certainly absolutely in play for a potential long.
Yeah. And I guess in another sense, since I'm a little bit more of like this social sentiment liaison for you guys, a big one that people are talking about is MULN. And to clarify, IMPP, INDO, MULN, folks, I have a position in none of these. I just want to make that explicitly clear. MULN, not an oil gas play, but what people realize about this one, when you drop over 10% in a day, you can go on to SSR, short sale restriction, which basically it's a really poor rule, but the attempt is to stop a dog pile effect. They don't want people to continue to short when it's dropping. So once you drop over 10% for the remainder of that day and the next day, you can only short when there's an uptick. Well, there are still people in the scenario that can short whenever they want. It's known as market makers, the people that's a whole nother discussion, but there is certain organizations that can short when they think it's necessary. MULN has a float, Mike, of around, like, let's call it 20-ish million. Its short exempt volume in one day was in excess of 20 million.
That's insane because this thing just on Friday, it traded 272 million shares.
Yeah. So that should not be possible because short exempt, it's selling when you didn't find the share in, like, you're attempting to like make the market right. And I get it. AMC and GME are symbolically the fight against market manipulation. It happens, unfortunately, day in and day out. It's just what it is, especially in like kind of the quote unquote smaller plays in terms of their float. Like that shit, it doesn't make sense. This is actually an EV play. They Mullen, like automotives, they have an EV company, but crazy stuff.
That is nuts. Always good info. Always good info on the lives here at TTG. Well, Matt, thank you very much, brother, for joining us here. We got a busy week in store. I'm sure we'll be doing this again here very soon as we have a lot unfolding from the geopolitical landscape, but then we've got the Fed meeting on Wednesday. And, it's like you can't focus too much on one aspect because there's multiple different types of headlines that can move markets up or down. So we got to keep our head on a swivel this week. Make sure you folks are using the Benzinga news feed that comes on the TC platform. You'll get the up-to-date alerts when we get something out of Russia, Ukraine, because that's kind of front and center right now. But then don't forget Wednesday, it's all about the Fed. So Monday, Tuesday, all about Russia, Ukraine, and oil and Iran. Wednesday, it's going to be all about the Fed. The market's going to care solely about the Fed on Wednesday unless something major happens between Russia and Ukraine. So we'll have to keep our eyes there. Matt, I'm sure we'll be doing this again, brother. Thanks for coming on here and joining us. I don't want your real life girlfriend to kill you. So
yeah, I appreciate it. It's always a great conversation. And to all the TTG members, we'll be in chat throughout the week. I'll drop by and let you know what I'm thinking. And also to everyone who's not, it's $3 for a week trial, and this week's about to be nuts. You truly have it's $3. You have nothing to lose for this particular week, when in fact, when it's up to $3, I can guarantee you will get way more than $3 worth of value. You got more than that in this free conversation. So check it out. It's definitely worth it. And I think from there, you're going to realize that you really like it. But as always, shout out Mike. I appreciate it. Shout out TTG, and shout out you backstage there as well, Adam. See you guys later. Have a great week.
Later, Matt. Thanks again, brother. All right, folks. So yeah, another really good, nice little Q&A session there. You guys did a really good job. You guys did a really good job asking questions. Now, folks, listen, there's a lot of questions that we did not get to. There's over 1,000 people that are all typing questions away. It's impossible for us to get to every single one of them. If we missed your question, it's not done intentional. If you're not a member of True Trading Group and I did not get to your question, don't worry about it. We do this 6 nights a week. Just make sure you click the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, make sure you never miss out on any one of these live streams. If you are a member of True Trading Group, tomorrow in chat, simply send myself or any one of our 8 professional trader moderators a tagged message in chat tomorrow. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have if we missed it. And we also have several thousand active, educated TG fan members that will make sure that your question does get answered. If the ability to actually ask me or any one of our other pro traders a question in chat at any time during the day sounds strange to anyone that's not a TG member, let me show you it's the norm at TTG, and that, as well as members helping other members, is also part of what makes us a family. But speaking of which, speaking of non-TTG members, I'd actually like to see what we're working with here, folks. Do me a favor. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, maybe this is your first live stream, but if you're not a member, go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. Do me a favor. Just type the number 1 in chat. Don't be shy. Type the number 1 in chat if you guys are not a member of TTG. We're nearly 10,000 members strong. I want to see who we got here that's not. We got Doc. We got Marie Medina. We got THC Clint. We got Stephen Batza. Lugo Trades. Sue Sun. Bunch of people. Look at all these number 1s. Tony the Tiger. Jeannie Amash. The Devil You Know. Literally just signed up. Welcome. Linda C. Colin Smith. Old school. Typed out the number 1. ONE. Peter Wagner, Becca, a mercy received. Great, guys. Beautiful. A lot of number 1s that are coming through chat right now. A lot of new faces. I love it. I love it. All of you that are typing the number 1 in chat, welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes real quick, tell you guys how you can join the THD family. Don't go anywhere. In just a few minutes, we're going to talk about the overall markets. We're going to talk about how I plan on making money this week. We're going to check the futures market. I'll tell you guys about the open position that I currently still have working, and then what I think is going to happen on Wednesday for the Fed and how I'm going to position myself to make money from that. We're going to talk about that in just a few moments. But first, let's talk about how you guys can join the THD platform, because I want you to think of True Trading Group as the Netflix of trading communities. You pay one price, you get access for the whole year to all of our current and future courses, all of our current and future tools. Normally, the price of True Trading Group is $2,212 for the year. However, the next 20 people that go to ttgoffer.com and use the coupon code TTG121 at checkout will get themselves a 45% discount. Brings the price all the way down to just $1,207 for the entire year. And as a special way of saying thank you, the next 20 people to join before midnight tonight will also receive a brand new free laptop for you to trade on. And you're going to get 2, not 1, 2 free small private study groups so you can get the individual attention that you need to succeed. At True Trading Group, folks, we combine a professional trading educational curriculum that's both in-depth and complex, yet very easy to understand and implement quickly. Whether you've never traded a day in your life or you're a pro looking to gain an edge, TTG's curriculum and platform can help you reach your financial goals that you never thought were possible. We pair all of that with premium investing tools from today's top financial tech companies that if you purchased on your own would cost you over $4,000 a year easy. As a member of TTG, you get access to the top trading tools from Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, CBOE, Polygon, Trade Ideas, and more. And then top all that off, we are a community of active and educated, like-minded, and helpful traders and investors that are led by TTG's team of full-time trading moderators with over 100 years of combined trading experience, currently sporting a collective win rate of just about 80% with a focus on stocks, options, futures, crypto, day trading, swing trading, but also long-term investing. And we genuinely give a damn whether you succeed or fail. Results matter at True Trading Group. Your results, not anybody else's. Your results matter, and they're measurable through your P&L. TTG exists to empower the retail trader, and the bottom line here is that at TTG, the vast majority of our members are making money, and they're becoming better traders. If you don't believe me, watch this. Guys, if you're a member of True Trading Group right now, I want to know, very plain and simple, are you making money and becoming a better trader because of TTG? If that answer is yes, I want you to type the $sign in chat right now. Now, anybody that's not a member, my advice is just to count how many $signs come flying through on this side of the screen. Now, you just heard me go on for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so about how great TTG is and why you should spend your hard-earned money here to invest in yourself. Well, now you can watch as I put my money where my mouth is. Because anyone that signs up by midnight Pacific tonight, not only will you save the 45% off the 2212, bring the price all the way down to 1207, not only do you receive a brand new free laptop, not only do you get 2 small private study groups so you can get individual attention you need to succeed, not only do you get all current and future courses and premium tools, but I'm going to give you double your money back at the end of your membership if you fail to make back your 1207 at least once during your membership. As long as you complete all of our courses, pass our quizzes, and attend 1 study group throughout the year. And by the way, you get the answer key for the quizzes. So that's not the catch. Don't cheat. If you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. You need to know what information you understand and don't. But you do get the answer key for the quizzes. So again, just to clarify, I am offering the next 20 people that sign up on ttgoffer.com with the code TTG121. The next 20 people that sign up for 1207 right now before midnight, a double your money back guarantee. That means if you do not make your 1207 back, I will give you back $2,414. Double what you are paying to join the platform. Now, why do we do this? Are we desperate for new members? No, we're actually quickly approaching 10,000 active paying members on the TTG platform. We simply feel that if we're going to come up here every single night and ask you to believe in us and invest in our platform, that we also need to double down on that and put that money up with you. And this is our way of doing it. So you'll put up 1207, and if you still fail, we will also put up 1207 and give you back $2,414. I'm dead serious. That's how much I stand behind this platform and how much I believe in our ability to help you become successful. You simply have to go to ttgoffer.com right now. The price is going to show $22.12. You actually have to enter the code TTG121 and then click enter. That's going to bring the price down to $12.07. Enter your info and check out. You're good to go. You will see for yourself on ttgoffer.com. There's no fine print. Everything that we just said is there, and everything we said that you get is there and more. You will know that you're one of those 20 signups to get the free laptop if you see a laptop in your checkout cart. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, you're good. You're going to get one. So I would take advantage of this price, folks, right now, because at midnight tonight, that price goes up. 1207 tonight is the last night to get that 1207 price point with that free laptop and that double your money back guarantee. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the code TTG121. Okay. Price goes up at midnight tonight, and tomorrow we're going to be offering Kindles. The laptops are done for tonight. These are the last 20 that we have. We're going to be switching over to Amazon Kindles after tonight. So listen, it's an Amazon Kindle. It's still a badass gift. It's a free electronic. We even cover the shipping costs. We ship anywhere in the world. But the first 20 people to join will get a laptop instead. And then once those laptops sell out, we're moving to Kindles tomorrow. Guys, the trial that Matt mentioned, it's great. But your discount, if you go through the trial, will not be 45%. If you go through your trial and then decide you want to become an annual member, your discount will then be 35%. So if you want that 45% off, you go to ttgoffer.com right here, right now. If anybody has questions, if you have questions about the membership, or maybe you're having a hard time signing up for whatever the reason, you can send a text message right now to 201-775-9702. That number's at the bottom of your screen. Don't call the number. It's a text-only number. Just text it. Adam will help answer any questions that you guys have. 201-775-9702. We have to welcome Christopher, Hane, and Deanne. Christopher, Hane, and Deanne, welcome to the TTG family. That means there's now just 17 laptops left. Okay? Once these 17 go, that's it. We're done with laptops. Amazon Kindles tomorrow. All right? So there's 17 left. TTGoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. All right? Folks, you literally, think about it. You literally have nothing to lose. I'm telling you right now, as long as you're willing to give me a little bit of effort, I'm going to double your money back. I'm going to tell you, you're going to join with 1207. Give me a little effort. I don't need 40 hours a week. Just give me a couple hours a week. Go through the courses, pass the quizzes, attend one study group. You have the whole year of your membership to do that. So I don't care how much time you don't have or how busy you are. You have the whole year to go through the courses, the quizzes, and one study group. And if you do not make the 1207 back at least once, I'll give you $2,414 back. So even if you fail, you're getting a 100% return on your investment, and you're going to keep the free laptop, which is worth a few $100 on its own right there. So you're actually getting more than 100% return on your investment. And that's how you need to look at your trading group, as an investment in your education, so you guys can be able to make informed decisions. So you can be able to identify opportunities in the markets, whether markets are up, down, left, right, doesn't matter. Bear market, bull market, there's always opportunities to make money as long as the markets are open. Everybody welcome Donna. 16 laptops left now, folks. Donna, welcome to the family. Folks, there's now just 16 left. These laptops are going to go quick. There's only 16 left. Once we're gone, that's it. It's Kindles, then they're forward. That price goes up at midnight tonight. All right? So there you guys have it. Everybody welcome Donna, newest member of the TC family. Donna, looking forward to it. Folks, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a wild and crazy week. Many of you are going to experience for the very first time a true rate hike cycle. We have not had a true rate hike cycle since 2006. We raised rates very briefly in 2018. The markets went down 20%. The Fed said, never mind. They cut rates back to zero, and the markets exploded in 2019. But we never experienced a rate hike cycle. The last rate hike cycle was 2006. Do not try to go through this on your own. Get yourselves educated so you can take advantage of the opportunities that the markets are presenting. Okay? Get it? Got it? Good. Wednesday, Fed Day. Get your butts in chat starting tomorrow, folks. We got a lot to go over. All right? So there's that. Now, let's move things over. I want to get to the main topics now of the live stream. Let's head on over to the SPY. All right, I want to go over this with you here, folks. So let's go on over to the SPY. All right, so here we are. Now, let's talk about what's going on here this week and what I think this all means for markets. We'll do a quick check-in on futures markets, folks. Futures are up about a half a point, okay? We're up about a half a point. Like I said, why are the futures up a half a point? Let's talk about the why first. You got a lot of news come out over the weekend. Mostly bad, some good. What's the bad? Iran, missiles into a U.S. consulate in Iraq. Fighting intensifies in Ukraine. Seems that there's no slowdown there. Bombing of a military base only 12 miles from the Poland border. The first American killed, a U.S. journalist. Okay, looks like, China might be, aiding Russia and military equipment, and there's a lot of other stuff going on there between Russia and China. But now let's talk about the good. Okay, when I say bad, I'm talking about catalysts that can make the markets move lower. When I say good, catalysts that can make the markets move higher. Why are the markets up over half a point right now? Well, folks, that's because you got some headlines coming from Ukraine representatives, but also the U.S. State Department that says that this is the first real meaningful progress that they have seen in negotiations between Russia and Ukraine occurred over the last couple of days. And you have U.S. State Department officials and Ukraine officials both saying that there could be real progress, like a real development within the next couple of days. Now, that gave the market some hope that maybe the violence that we're seeing in Ukraine could start to subside in the next couple of days if there's a real meaningful progress. Now, we've heard this before. This is not the first time that you're getting, there was some progress, and then all of a sudden you hear, a couple hours later, oh, no progress. Now, over the weekend, on Friday, you got a news headline at 6:30 in the morning Eastern time, a news headline that said Putin said that there was actual progress made in talks. And the markets popped on the back of that news, but it came from Russia. Now, very quickly, the markets did not, really believe that information, and the markets sold off on Friday. If you guys see this, on Friday, and I'll just bring you intraday now to Friday's price action, and we'll take a look at the charts. Okay, we can go full screen on my charts, please, guys. Can we go full screen on my charts? Yep, there we go. So this is intraday. So you'll notice that on Friday, we had a gap up. Now, when that news first came out, on Friday morning, the markets were actually up here. So you actually had the markets do this on the back of that news headline of where 6:30 in the morning, there were a news alert that Putin said there was progress made with talks. That is literally where we went to pre-market, Okay, I don't have pre-market data on my screen right now, but pre-market, we went all the way up to 433. Now, by the time the markets opened at 9:30, so 3 hours later, the market sold off that much of that news because the market started to not really believe it because it wasn't verified by Ukrainian sources. It wasn't verified by US sources. So then by the time the markets opened, we had given back a huge chunk of that morning rip, and then so much to where the market sold off all the way to close at the dead low of the day. The dead low of the day, we sold off that entire move. If you go from pre-market 433 all the way down to 420, that's a 13-point move to the downside on the SPY on the back of that news. Okay? On the back of that news. All right? So we sold off all the way down to 420. Now, we got ourselves into put options. Okay? We got ourselves into put options. Hold on one second here, folks. Doc asked so Doc asked Adam, I guess through a text message, if he signs up, he's starting with $1,000. Is that enough? Doc, that's more. $1,000 is more than enough. You don't need tens of thousands of dollars to get started trading. It's actually better to start off slow. Don't just go jumping into the markets with tens of thousands of dollars that you can't afford to risk. Start off slow. Okay, but the majority of our members did start with small accounts, and they've been able to turn those 3-figure accounts up to 5-figure accounts. And don't take my word for it. Okay, don't take my word for it. I'll ask members themselves. Let them answer the question for you. I know it doesn't mean much coming from me. Okay, I trade with a larger account, so I understand it doesn't mean much when I answer the question. So let's have members respond. Guys, if you are a member of True Trading Group, if you started with less than $1,000, tell me what you started with and where you are now today. So if you're a member, if you started with less than 1,000, tell me what you started with and then tell me where you are today. Chris Botsis from 500 to 4,500. Howard Potts from 750 to 35K. That's incredible, Howard. Great job. Irene started with just $1,000. Guys, as you can see, you can read some of these comments. I don't have to read all of them. Ken Gaffney, absolutely incredible, bro. And I said this every time when Ken responds. From $500 now up to $50,000. That's incredible. Visions from $250 to $1,200. Marmenk from $100 now to $500. Eric from $200 now at $2,800. Eric Harper from $560 now at $18,000. That's incredible. Diane Fig started with just $100. ES went from $600 to $1,200 in just 6 weeks. Dean Smith with $1,000 exactly is now up 3 times that since June. Okay, so you guys can see it. Okay, started with $1,000, now one good SPY put away from reaching $21,000. That's Barefoot Boy. Incredible. So I don't have to keep reading all these comments, but you guys get the point. Like I'm saying, you do not need tens of thousands of dollars to get started. You just don't. Okay, you guys can simply get yourself started with just a couple $100, and that's more than enough, as you can see from our teaching members. How do you do? Doc says, how do you all do this? Hit the bid started with 1,600, is now at 4,100. How do you do this? You sign up for True Trading Group. Listen, there's no guarantees. I'm not going to guarantee you millions of dollars. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to turn $500 into 50,000. I'm not going to guarantee you that. There are no guarantees. Okay, when it comes to your P&L. What I can guarantee you is that you're going to get access to the tools, the resources, the education, the mentorship, and guidance that you need to become successful. You're going to get that from myself, from the 8 other professional traders that are in True Trading Group, and also from the close to now 10,000 members of True Trading Group that are all that family-oriented mindset that all help each other succeed. That's what I can guarantee you. I can also guarantee you that I will give you double your money back if you go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group, and don't make that 1207 membership fee back at least once. That's what I can guarantee you. The rest is up to you. You have to be willing to put in a little bit of effort. Trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to join TTG and make $1 million. You're not going to a month later. You're not going to join TTG and tell your boss to go screw 2 weeks later. It's a skill. You're learning a new skill, just like any other skill. You have to put in some effort in order to succeed. And the TG platform was created and exists to give you the tools necessary to do so. You guys can just go to ttgoffer.com and use that coupon code, TTG121. Okay? All right. Now, going back to the overall markets, let's hit back here on the SPY. Everybody welcome Clint. My boy Clint, I saw you commenting earlier. Clint was wondering, do you guys still have the laptops? I saw that question, Clint. You asked it earlier. Yes, we still have the laptops, but there's only 15 left. And then after these 15 are gone, we're switching to Amazon Kindles. Okay, so the next 15 people will get that free laptop, and then we'll be switching over to Amazon Kindles. Remember, if you have questions, 201-775-9702. All right, so let's go back over here to the SPY. So on Friday, I bought put options right here. Okay, right here was where I bought put options on Friday. Okay, right there. They were the 18th expiration, the 424 strike. Okay, right around 650 a contract. And then we sold off all the way there into the close. And we were live. We were trading live during power hour. We were trading live during power hour on Friday. So we were live streaming from 3 p.m. Eastern. So we caught that sell-off late in the day. You guys can go back and check out that live stream. But I was ripping some profits off on those SPY puts going into the close. I'm still in a small piece of that position, folks. I'm in a small piece. It's about 12 or 15% of my original position size, still holding some of that position. And now what I'll be looking for, if there is a bounce back, and if we do hold this little bounce that we're seeing in the futures market, I'm going to look to see around 423 if I can reload on some of those puts. So what I'm actually going to be looking for is this area right here that you guys can see. I'll make this line a little bit bigger on my screen. I still maintain that bearish sentiment in the overall markets. I've basically just been buying puts on every single bounce day that we have. And I've been getting paid for doing so. So like I said, we had a bounce back day on Friday. We bought the puts. We faded it. If we get a bounce back day tomorrow, I'm going to see if we can stay below 423 to 423.50. You can see this level right here. This was previously a little area of support for the SPY on Friday that once it cracked, you'll notice, I'm going to really zoom this in here. Once we cracked that, you can see it became resistance. Then we sold off into the bell. So we bounced back on Monday morning and can't get back above this line, which is this previous support that there was on Friday. That could be a potential area to reload on puts and then look for us to continue to fade that and work our way back down towards this area. This is where I'm looking for us to get down to, right inside here. This is where I'm looking for the markets to drop down to, and I'm essentially just going to continue to buy puts on bounce backs in the markets until we can get down into this region. Okay. Now, of course, you're going to have a lot of news headlines that are going to come out between now and then that can move the markets. But folks, I'm sticking with the trend here. So far, every single little piece of positive news from Russia, Ukraine has been faded. And then you have the Fed meeting coming out on Wednesday. Guys, real quick, the code word for tonight, this is for members only. Okay, we do a lot of fun giveaways with members. We give away cash, we give away electronics. If you're not a member, don't worry about this. This is not for you. But if you are a member, the code word for tonight is puts. The code word for tonight is puts. Okay, code word for tonight is puts. All right, guys. Code word for tonight is puts. All right, to my TG fam, you guys can write that code word down. That's for that giveaway. All right. So there we have that. Okay, right now, yeah, we're basically trading sideways right now in futures. We were up about a half a point, then 0.4. Now we're up 0.6. We're just kind of fluctuating in that half a percentage point on the futures market. Like I said, some positive headlines this weekend. Ukraine officials, also the U.S. State Department reporting that for the first time, there's been real progress made in talks between Russia and Ukraine. And that's why the futures are giving you this little bit of a boost. Now, a lot can change between now and Monday morning. It is only 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, we've got 14 hours to go before the markets open. A lot can happen between now and then. You got the Asian markets. We'll see if people are buying this news headline. Now, for the first time, though, the thing that's different about this news headline, now we're up 0.7 of a point. The thing that's different about this news headline is it's coming now from United States and Ukraine together. All right. So Friday, it was just kind of from Russia. Now you're getting the US and Ukraine also making some of those statements. So you're getting this gap up, and we'll have to see what happens between now and tomorrow morning. Okay. But I still am in a piece of those puts. We'll see what happens. We're right now testing that 423 level on the SPY, 42.31, 42.32 on the futures, which will put you right around that area that I just showed you guys on the charts. All right. Okay. So there you have that. Now, let's see. Other resistance level that I want to point out to you. I'm going to go to a 15-minute chart for this one. Other resistance level that I want to point out to you. There's 2 levels. Okay. I'll give you 3 levels. One is more substantial. 2 of them are more substantial than the other. And I'll give you all 3 of them. And I'll tell you which ones I think are the major levels. These are the resistance levels that you can look for the markets to reverse off of. All right. I'm going to show you all 3 of these levels. Okay. I have 3 resistance levels up on my screen. Now let me walk you through why the 3 of these are resistance. This first one, 423, that's the one I just showed you. All right. That was the previous support on Friday before the markets broke and sold off into the close. That's resistance level number 1. Resistance level number 2 was 425. 425 was prior morning support. This is a 15-minute chart now that we're looking at. That then became resistance later in the afternoon, and then the market sold off. And then you have 428. 428 is the most significant resistance level of the 3, in my opinions. And that's where you will see all of this previous support then became resistance. All right. Now that's going to be the more key resistance level if you get a bounce back in the overall markets. Okay. So there's where I'm at. Okay. There's the 4 levels that I have my eyes on from a technical standpoint. And now you understand what the fundamental reasons are, the news headlines that are moving the markets. It's important for us to understand what are the news headlines that are moving the market, but it's also important for you to understand what are the technical levels that you can look for reversals off of. You can look for resistance to hold, and you can look to fade those moves higher. All right. So those are those resistance levels. Now you have all 3 of them drawn on your screen. You guys can draw that and leave it. Okay. Draw those and leave it. Now we'll talk about the Fed, because the Fed's coming up on Wednesday. Wednesday, we're expected to get a 25 basis point hike. Okay, we're looking at a 25 basis point hike on Wednesday. The rate hike is not going to surprise the markets. It is widely expected on a global scale that we're getting 25 basis points. If we get 50 basis points on Wednesday, I do not believe that we do. If we do, I think the markets sell off on the back of that news. If we get no rate hike at all, I think you get a knee-jerk reaction where the markets move higher, but then I think the markets sell off again anyway, because I think that 50 basis points is going to scare the market, thinking that the Fed's going to raise rates too aggressively and push us into a recession. No basis point hike is, I think, going to be a signal to the market that, wow, this Fed has no idea what they're doing. They're so far behind on inflation. Inflation's out of control. And then they think inflation will then just push us into a recession, and they're going to have to raise rates more aggressively later. So I actually think you're in a situation where 50 basis points, markets move lower, and then 0 basis points, which I don't believe either one of these happen. I'm just giving you the scenarios for the off chances that they do happen and there's a surprise. But I do not believe, let me be very clear, I do not believe either one of those scenarios is going to happen. But I think that they would both be net bads for the overall market, meaning more downside. 25 basis points is where the markets are expecting. I think you get a minimal reaction in the markets, maybe 1, 2, 3 point move off of the 25 basis point announcement. And then the focus will be language on future rate hikes. Everybody's like, okay, we're going to get 25 now. What about the rest of the year? And everybody wants to know, is the Fed going to raise and then be data dependent, raise, be data dependent, raise, be data dependent? Or are they on autopilot? Are they on an autopilot where, hey, we're going to raise, regardless of what's happening? That's what's going to determine if we get follow through direction off of the news on Wednesday. Again, my opinion, I could be wrong, but I come on here every night to give you guys my opinion, my thoughts on what I think the overall markets are going to happen. Okay. I'll be live with members on the microphone when this happens. We'll be in chat, breaking it down live. All right, so you guys don't have to, we're going to take the guessing out of it. I'll be watching live Jerome Powell's statement. I'll be listening to Steve Leisman when he reads the statement, and then Jerome Powell will be doing a Q&A. So the way that it works, folks, is 2 o'clock is the Fed announcement where you get the 25 basis point hike and the official statement is published. Then 2:30 is a press conference where Jerome Powell reads a statement and then does a Q&A, and then he will actually answer questions. Now, he's going to get asked very specifically from reporters about what's next. Are you on autopilot? Are you data dependent? How many rate hikes do you think you see? Is there a possibility we get 50 basis points at the next meeting? Those are the questions that are going to move the market, because those are the questions that the market's going to digest to see how aggressive is the Fed going to be. The markets want the Fed to raise rates. They just don't want them to raise rates too aggressively. So you need to hear from the Fed. Okay, you need to hear from the Fed that we're going to raise, and then we're going to look at the data. Then we'll raise, then we're going to look at the data. Okay, raise, look at the data. That's what we're going to be looking for on Wednesday. We got breaking news. Tom Brady coming back to Tampa Bay. Is this true? As I'm on this live stream, is this breaking news from Tom Brady coming back? Wow. I knew he couldn't stay away. Now Gronkowski's got to come back. You know what? Good for him. Good for Tom. The guy can still play. The guy can still play. He's the GOAT. He really is the GOAT, and that's coming from a Giant fan. That's coming from a Giant fan. Tom Brady is the GOAT. I'm glad to see him come back. I am. I'm glad to see him come back. The guy's addicted to the game. This is going to be Brett Favre all over again. It's going to be Brett Favre all over again. I'm retired. I'm not retired. I'm retired. I'm not retired. It's going to be Brett Favre all over again. All right, but he's the greatest of all time. And as every single game that you get to watch the greatest do it, it's a pleasure. I wish I was still able to watch more games of Michael Jordan. I wish I was able to watch Mickey Mantle. You wish when you're viewing the GOAT, you want to watch him do it for as long as physically possible. So that's fun for fans. It's fun for fans. So congrats all my Tampa Bay Bucks fans that are out there. I know we have a lot of Florida members in the TGD fam. All right. So congrats on my Tampa Bay Buck fans. I'm sure you guys are all happy about that. I'm sure you guys are all happy about that. All right. All right, folks. So that's where I'm at. That's where my thoughts are. This gap up in the futures, my thoughts are initially it does not hold. And then based on technicals, I'm looking for the markets to go lower. Okay. It would take a substantial piece of news for me to flip. Okay. Oh, everybody welcome Doc. Doc just joined the TTG family. Doc had that question. I'm glad to see you pull the trigger. Doc, welcome to the TTG fam. 14 laptops left. Everybody welcome Doc. Remember, guys, there's 14 laptops left. After the 14, that's it. We're done. No more laptops. We're switching to Amazon Kindles. So go to ttgoffer.com, enter the code TTG121. The next 14 people get a laptop as long as you see a laptop. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, you're good. You're getting one. The price goes up at midnight tonight. So tonight's the last night for the 1207 45% discount. Jump on it now. And you guys have nothing to lose, folks. I'm telling you now. As long as you go through our courses, pass the quizzes, and attend one study group, if you don't make the 1207 back, I'll double it for you. I'll give you $2,414. All right. Ooh, Tom Brady said he has unfinished business. I'm not sure what unfinished business, and the guy's done it all. Beautiful. All right. So, folks, again, I remain my bullish sentiment. Excuse me. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I remain my bearish sentiment. I've been bearish the entire start of 2022. I've maybe only traded calls, I think, maybe twice so far in the first, 2.5 months of the year. And they were during these, these wild bounces in the overall market. These were where I think I traded call options only twice. So far this year. Everything else, if I've traded the SPY maybe 20 times So far, I don't know how many. I'm just, an example, an estimate. Maybe if I've made 20 SPY trades, I'd say probably 18 of them have been put options. And I remain bearish. The only thing that would make me temporarily look for call options, and when I say temporarily, I mean maybe for like a week, would be if there was an actual ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, like an actual real end in sight for this war going on in Russia, Ukraine. If that were to happen, then I would temporarily, as an active trader, shift my mindset. I'd look for oil to pull back. I'd look for equities to then push higher. But I don't think that even that is enough to really move markets higher. You got to see what happens with inflation. But that would be enough for me to shift my mindset for about a week or so window where I think maybe you get some upside. Okay, so for now, though, I'm just shorting bounces. It's what I've been doing all year. It's what I'm continuing to do. Okay, I'll let you guys know when that changes. These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. Is that what he said? That time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business. Let's effing go. I got to tell you, it sounds like Tom Brady's a member of TTG. If you ask me, that sounds like True Trading Group to me. I realize my place is on the field. It's not in the stands. I love my teammates. I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. Unfinished business. Let's effing go. That's True Trading Group to a T right there.
Yeah. You shouldn't give out your high profile members' identities, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Tom Brady, secretly a member of True Trading Group. All right, folks. Guys, so there you have it. Okay? So there you have it. That's my outlook for the week. I'm still in those puts. I don't think that this gap up in the futures holds. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. We'll be in chat bright and early tomorrow morning. I'll tell you guys what I think based on what the markets are doing once we open up. Equities open up at 4:00 in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, we'll take a look and see where we're at around 6:30, and then we'll start devising our game plan from there. All right. So there you have that. All right, folks. Great stream. Great stream. You guys asked some great questions. We covered some great topics. Now, listen, for those of you that are interested, I'm actually going to show you the TTG platform now for those of you that are interested. So remember, TTG is the Netflix of trading communities. Pay one price for the whole year, get access to all of our current future courses, all of our current and future premium tools. Normally it's $22.12. Okay, normally it's $22.12, but the next 14 people will be getting themselves, the next 14 people that go to ttgoffer.com and enter the code TTG121 at checkout, they're going to get a 45% discount. It brings the price down to $12.07. And then a special way of saying thank you, those next 14 people get themselves a brand new free laptop. After midnight tonight, the price goes up and we switch to Amazon Kindles. Okay. Don't forget, you get the 2 small private study groups, your chance to get individual attention from one of the pros at True Trading Group. And you also get the double your money back guarantee. So let me show you the platform. You're going to get our chat room, of course, our daily chat room. The mods and I share our screen. We're live on the microphone, talking to you like I'm talking to you now. We're there from pre-market till after hours, providing you market commentary, analysis, and real-time trade alerts. You're going to get real-time trade alerts from a community of professionals that's currently sporting a collective win rate of about 80%. We're fully transparent. There's a journal on our site. It tracks every buy and sell that our mods make, so you can see for yourself how would you be doing if you followed those alerts. Everything's there. The wins, the losses, the break-evens, everything's there for you guys to see for yourself. I told you about the 2 small private study groups, so you can get the individual attention you need to succeed. But then you get the Benzinga newsfeed. Okay, real-time news alerts in chat. As soon as they cross the wire, no more relying on delayed news. Okay, no more relying on delayed news. You're going to get news as soon as it crosses the wire. This news feed, if you went to Benzinga on your own, you'd have to pay $1,400 a year to get access to this news feed. It's included with your membership to TTG when you pay just $12.07, as is everything else I'm showing you. Everything I'm showing you, you don't pay $1 extra for. You also get TradingView's premium charting software. It's one of the most commonly used charting softwares by active traders. Yours free, no additional cost. The Trade Ideas Scanner. The industry standard in scanning will make sure you're always focused on the hottest stocks during the day. Stocks making new highs, new lows, and have a surge in volume. That's how we make sure your focus is where it needs to be to give you the best chance to be successful. No additional charge. You're also going to get our simulator. Again, no additional charge. All of this is included. Trade stocks and options with fake money, but real-time data so you can practice implementing what you are learning in the courses. Our own proprietary scanner, similar to FinViz, also lets you scan for crypto. You get dark pool data and unusual options activity as well. Used to be something only professionals had access to. Now it's at the fingertips of the retail trader on the TTG platform. You then get a trading journal that will track all your trading, give you stats and data to help you figure out what you're doing wrong. A game changer when you're looking to improve on your stats. A social sentiment scanner as well that will scour through Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter and tell you what stocks are being mentioned the most on those platforms so you can stay ahead of the crowd. Again, no additional charge. All of this you get for $12.07. Then you get our daily watch list. Okay, our daily watch list, so you will know every single day what stocks the mods have their eyes on, and more importantly, how they plan on trading them. Then you have our courses. The courses, simplified yet expanded upon version of what I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. There are beginner and foundation courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, you name it, we've got it all for you. Guys, there's no additional pro courses or VIP courses that cost more money. You get access to every course when you guys join the TTG platform. No additional charge, no upsells for tools or resources. Then you get the video library, an additional 200 hours of extra video content. These are webinars and workshops we've conducted, like how to grow a small account, how to trade while working a full-time job, how to trade during a market crash. Then you can attend all these live as a member. They're free for members. Okay, and anything we add to the platform is included. Any new courses, any new tools, we don't charge you more money when we add to the platform. It's included just like Netflix. Listen to me, folks. Is it not time that you invested into something real? Seriously, something that has the ability to actually help you reach your goals? Is it not time for you to stop watching the 1% get richer and you still feel like you're stuck? Guys, listen, I can't promise you the world. I can't promise you that you're going to make millions, fire your boss, get the girl or guy of your dream, buy a jet, takes you to your Lambo, parks it at your mansion, and call it a day on your yacht. I can't promise you that. But I can promise you a real chance at success as long as you put in an effort. We can promise you that we're going to give you a double your money back guarantee if you fail to make that membership fee back over a year. We can promise you that we actually do care about your success, and we can promise you that the day you sign up to True Trading Group is the day that our relationship begins. The ball's in your court. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121. And then if you guys are still not ready, like I said, you do have the trial. The trial is only $3. It's a whole week. It's the best $3 you ever spent in your life. You just go to ttgthree.com. It's $3. There's no automatic upgrade. There's no recurring payment. It's a one-time payment of $3. That's it. So you guys can go to ttgthree.com for the trial. Otherwise, price goes up at midnight. Laptops are done at midnight. Go to ttgoffer.com and enter TTG121. And then get your butts in chat. We got a real busy week ahead of us, folks. Thanks for joining us here on this live stream. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss out on these lives. We're dropping golden nuggets on the regular. Thanks for joining us, folks. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow.